Okay, friends, time for chapter 5. I figure when David Howard grows up, he'll be an explorer, a detective, or a spy. Whenever there's a game where you have to crawl under a bush or slide on your belly or hide in a tree, that's what David wants to play. And because we have a lot more places to hide on our land than he does on his, that's why David Howard likes to come to our house. Dad's reading Becky a story and Dara Lynn's helping Ma with the dishes. Only reason I got excused was I got a guest, and you can be sure Dara Lynn will see to it that I have to do them 2 nights in a row. Takes about 20-25 minutes to walk to Judd's from here, I tell David. Okay, we'll need a canteen, a map, and a pair of binoculars, says David, his voice low. A map, I say. David, all we're doing is crossing the bridge and walking along the road till we get to Judd's. Not the way we're going, says David. How are you going to spy on someone if they see you coming walking right up the road? So, to please David Howard, I take the back of a used envelope and make a map of the bridge, the old Shiloh schoolhouse, and the road where Judd lives, plus a small private cemetery back in the trees behind someone's house. David brought his own canteen and his ma's field glasses, and I tell him if we don't set off right soon, Dara Lynn will have all the dishes wiped and be begging to go with us. We don't have to worry about Shiloh, though. Shiloh trots along beside us as we go down the driveway, but when we turn right instead of left, he pauses, not too sure, then lags 10 feet behind us all the way to the bridge. We stop to look at the pothole in the road. Been there since last spring. Must be 7 inches deep and 3 feet around. Wow, says David Howard. Looks like a sinkhole, Marty. I bet there's a cave under there and the roof's fallen in. So, of course, we have to crawl down the bank and poke around in the weeds and bushes to see if there's a hidden entrance to an unexplored cave that nobody knew about. Every so often you read of someone discovering a new cave. Maybe his foot drops down in it when he's out hiking through a meadow, or his dog falls in and folks hear it whining. If we found a cave here under the road, with passages and waterfalls and stuff, we decide we'd name it the Howard Preston Caverns. We waste a good half-hour of daylight looking for a cave that isn't there, and then climb back up to cross the bridge. Shiloh won't go, though. Makes this pitiful sound and whine in his throat. He tucks his tail between his legs and slinks off toward our driveway again. It hurts me to see how scared he still is of Judd Travers. He won't set foot on that bridge for all the rabbits in Tyler County. I'll be back, boy, I tell him, if I could just make him understand. We set off down the road toward Judd's. David stops and takes a drink of water from his canteen, but I can tell he's not even thirsty. He's just pretending he is, like we're working so hard and all. We creep along through the bushes between the road and the creek, darting from tree to tree and wait until the coast is clear before making a run for the next one. The coast is clear up and down the road, of course. Not a soul outside except an old woman sitting on her porch, and she don't have her glasses on. She don't even see us. It's fun, though, all the spy talk. Agent XRX, Agent XRX, come in, XRX, says David, holding up one fist to his mouth like a microphone. I read you, QZTSA. How close are we now, asked David. About 5 houses more, I think. It's a brown and white trailer. Problem is, the houses are all so far apart up here, you can't see Judd's trailer even when it's next one in line. Same as our house. Let's cut to the cemetery, says David. We cross the road, go around behind a house, and creep through a lady's backyard. Backs bent while we run like soldiers, dodging enemy fire, hills looming up on our left. We pass this little cemetery plot with a low iron fence around it. I mean, it's only 2 feet high. You can step right over it. There's a whole generation buried there, I guess, and all the names are Donaldson except for one. Wait, says Howard, grabbing my arm. I stop. Which way is the wind blowing, he says. I don't know. David licks his finger and holds it up in the air. He's still not sure, so he throws a handful of grass up and waits to see how it falls. We're going downwind, he says, his eyes big, like we're on a ship that's sinking or something. I try to look worried too. What do we do now, I ask. The dogs might smell us coming. There's no quick way to go around and get to Judd's from the other end because we got hills on one side and Middle Island Creek on the other. We'll just have to be dead quiet, says David. You want to risk it, XRX? Roger, I tell him. We get about 50 yards from Judd's trailer, and we're down on our bellies, inching along through the weeds 2 feet high in the field right next to his yard. I'll probably have to explain the grass stains on my t-shirt to Ma, and I sure shouldn't have taken a bath, but it's worth it. When we get close enough to Judd's trailer, we wriggle around toward the road till we can see Judd's front door, and there he is, big as life, sitting out on the steps with a shotgun resting on his knees. David and I just grab at each other and swallow. Lucky for us, I guess, that Judd's dogs are chained on the other side. Can't see us. They're quiet tonight. I guess when you're a dog, no matter how small your brain is or how full you are of meanness, you got sense enough to know that when a man is sitting out on his steps with a shotgun across his knees, you don't cause him any trouble. You think he's going hunting? David whispers to me. I don't think so, I whisper back. The scary thing is, Judd don't look like he's going anywhere. Not cleaning his gun either, just sitting. And once in a while he spits. What's he waiting for? The person who scratched his truck, maybe? Just watching for someone to come along and try it again? David Howard inches forward again, and I wish he wouldn't. I make my way up beside him and pull him back. Then we realize Judd's talking to himself. Can't make out a single word, just a low kind of mutter. Every so often he slaps his knee or shakes his head. Then he's quiet before he starts all over again. It's not too hard to see he's been drinking. It's right about then he suddenly jerks to attention and raises his gun, and I know for a fact I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be anywhere near this place, but Judd's got his gun aimed at a tree in his front yard. At first, I figured this shows just how drunk he is, mistaking a tree for a deal or something. But I raised my head in time to see two squirrels chasing each other around and around that tree trunk. Judd lifts his gun and aims. Bang! One squirrel goes skittering out of the tree half crazy, and the other falls straight down and goes flopping about on the yard. I can't watch. I put my head down on my arms and pray for that squirrel to die quick. But now all Judd's dogs are going nuts, yelping and barking, and above it all comes Judd's laugh. Gotcha, he yells, and I can hear the slap of his hand on his knee again. He don't even stand up to go get the squirrel or shoot it to put it out of its misery. I look up quick to see if the squirrel is still twitching, but then it lays still with only its tail twitching.